Drama in the body of Christ, as Timi Dakolo, Nigerian popular musician, has come out to reply so many Nigerian pastors who have been, calling out Nigerian gospel ministers over them charging for their ministration. You all know it has been trending for a very long time. Nigerian pastors have been calling out Nigerian gospel ministers, saying that, why are you people charging? That you people are not here to serve God. Instead, you are here for your personal pocket. Well, Timi Dakolo has some words of warning and advice for them. Timi Dakolo wrote on his Instagram page, "My dear Christians, a quote stroke conversation can sound intelligent and deep, yet untrue. Just like everyone else, you deserve the very best things life has to offer. You should be paid what you deserve. Studio sections, promotions, and productions cost a lot. You have a family to feed. You have rent to pay. You have more songs to put out. We should all stop this attack on people's work. As much as it is spiritual, music is an art. If you can't pay people, use your church choir." Hey, oh, this one loud. Oh, hey, which pastor is it referring to? "Use your church choir and pay the amount you could have given the guest artist." I doubt the second part. I support him here too. Many of these people calling out these gospel ministers, let them use their church choir. The money you will put into inviting these big, gospel artists, use it to pay your church choir. I'm sure they will deliver a better job. He has a point here. He now also said this gaslighting has to stop. Gospel ministers want good things too. They are not beggars. Oh. The best of architects are called upon to build big churches. Large sum of amounts are disbursed for promoting big programs and all. No one should diminish another person's ministry. Ministry needs music, and music needs ministry. It takes at least 10 years and chains of hours to be an elite musician. Develop your musicians and singers in your church and pay them well. Leave all this belittling alone. None of these people saying this will fly economy and travel alone to save money for the ministry that invites them to preach. All this was said in love. Early morning, wow, less. This shade is heavy. Oh. Who is this shade for? Who knows themselves knows themselves. The pastors that have been coming out to shade gospel ministers recklessly this period have been giving back their own woto, saying that go and use your church choirs and leave we that have, worked hard for our gospel ministry. Guys, well, Timi Dakolo, first of all, is not a gospel musician. Timi Dakolo is a secular artist. He does love music, normal music, not really in the gospel. So I think he's speaking out for his gospel counterparts. Many of them will not want to talk because of the backlash that will be involved. So I guess Timi Dakolo is helping them since they don't want to talk. But to be sincere with you, like I've been saying ever since this whole gospel ministers dragging started, I have no issues with these people charging for the administration because it's a career. The only issue I have is when they behave like it is not a career or they are not making money from it. Or when they behave like they are just doing it for God. No, it's a career. This is how you feed. This is how you earn a living. This is how you drive the luxurious cars you drive. This is how you fly first class, live the best life you live. Own it, that it is your job. Own it, that is your occupation. The same way a doctor will own it that I studied medicine because I want to earn an earnest living from treating people. That is how gospel ministers should own it too. That I'm in gospel ministry for the money and not make it look like they are just there because they love God or they are doing it for free. You understand? Because even the pastors coming out to bash them, before they go for ministrations, do they not give them, what do they call it? I'll put the name on the screen. So you understand, the pastors were the ones that started this. Before the gospel ministers picked up from where they stopped. Like I made an example in my other video. If a gospel minister goes for a show and they see how much was raised in the concert, and at the end the pastor is giving them just peanuts, how do you want that gospel minister to feel? How? How do you want the gospel minister to feel? If there's any church in Nigeria that has done what Timi Dakolo said in the second paragraph, that the church should use their church choir, is Christ Embassy. Christ Embassy is, I don't want to use the only, but the major church in Nigeria that invests heavily in their church choir. Christ Embassy invests heavily in money, exposure, talent hunting, and a whole lot of things. Christ Embassy has invested heavily in their church choir. That is why you see them, they don't even have issues. They don't even invite guest ministers or music ministers to their programs. Christ Embassy recently hosted Your Love Word, Healing Streams. Did you see them invite any of your big gospel ministers? No, but they are hitting records, breaking records of over 5.8 billion streams. Like I said, at the end of this whole thing, Christ Embassy is on a different level in Nigeria. That is because Pastor Chris invests heavily in the Love Word Choir. He invests heavily in the Love Word Nation, that they don't even need to invite any artists from anywhere to come and sing for them. The Love Word Choir alone is enough to carry the stage. The Love Word Choir alone is enough to power the house. Timi Dakolo was not wrong. Gospel ministry needs the church, and the church also needs gospel ministry. You cannot do ministry without music, because even before you come up stage to sing, to dance, you need the environment to be charged up. And when we charge it up, a gospel minister, and it does not necessarily have to be your popular artist. If you invest in your church choir can charge up the environment. Your church choir can do an amazing job. So gospel pastors calling out gospel ministers, invest in your church choir, like Timi Dakolo said. So you will not have a reason to call them. And also gospel ministers too, please charge with conscience. Charge with conscience, I beg. I don't say that also be there, but I beg. Charge with conscience. Charge with conscience. But Timi Dakolo actually made a lot of sense, because the way they are calling out these gospel ministers, I'm like, you are calling them out. Is it not the same ministry people are doing? You understand? It's the same ministry all of you are doing. The only thing is, please, let's do it with conscience. Let's understand that in as much as there's the monetary aspect of this all, there's still the gospel aspect. There's still the God factor. Let's do it with conscience. But guys, feel free to drop your own opinions in the comment section. In this whole calling out, Pastor Chris is the only pastor that can call out gospel ministers and they will not respond, or nobody will talk. Why? Because Pastor Chris raised them. He spent millions of dollars on them. They were all in a Love Word choir before they went out to start their own gospel ministry. So Pastor Chris is the only pastor that can call out gospel ministers and everybody will stand by him. Why? Because he was a father to them. He raised them. He gave them the connections. He gave them the platform. Pastor Chris spent heavily. Most of your top gospel ministers, Pastor Chris spent heavily on them before they became what they are today. And when they left, did he force them to come back? No. Why? Because he knows that he's a father that raises stars. He's raising more stars. Go to Love Word Choir. Every day, stars are popping out of there. So that is it. Churches, go and raise your choirs. Invest heavily in your choirs, so that gospel ministers will be doing shakara for you. But guys, feel free to drop your own opinions in the comment section. I'm Emilia. I do some reactions. I'll see you in my next time, guys. Bye.